All right, guys. Troy from Tad Catter Fishing. Welcome back. Tonight, I want to talk to you guys about what baits catch what fish, or what's the best bait for each fish. I always get a lot of questions about what baits do you use to catch big fat catfish, what baits do you use to catch flatheads, what baits do you use to catch blue cats, and what baits do you use to catch channel cats. So in this video, we're going to go over that. I'm going to tell you what works for me. You guys can take it or leave it. So you guys hang out and pay attention. All right, guys. The first species of catfish that I want to talk about is the flathead catfish. These flathead catfish, you hear it all the time. They only hit live bait. That is not true. I've caught multiple fish on cut bait. I probably catch, to be honest, more large trophy size flatheads off cut bait than I do off of live bait. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you that they don't hit live bait. What I'm saying is cut bait works. So here is the baits that I use for flathead catfish. All right, the first bait I want to talk about is Gizzard Shad. Not only are these great bait for flatheads, but these are great baits for blue cats and channel cats as well. And among other fish. All fish feed on Gizzard Shad. Most of the time, these are the main forage fish in most rivers. But you cannot catch these on a rod and reel most of the time. I'm not going to say always, because there have been occasions where I have caught them on rod and reel. But most of the time you need to catch them with a throw net or a dip net. Make sure you check your local state laws to make sure that that is legal in your area. But again, this is my go-to bait for, trophy size catfish. And when I go fishing, this is the bait I look for. All right, next up we have the mighty Skipjack. You guys are going to catch these things most of the time at your local locks and dams. You can catch them from anywhere from in the spring, and I think they also run in the fall. I catch them with live minnows and a bobber, all the way down to sabiki rigs or crappie jigs. You can tie 3 or 4 crappie jigs on a line, and a lot of times you can catch 3 or 4 of these things at a time. Make sure you check with your state and local laws again to make sure that these are legal in your area. I know that a lot of times there are some other fish that look a lot like skipjack that people confuse with skipjack, such as American shad or hickory shad, and in a lot of places those are illegal to use. So again, check with your state and local laws to make sure all this is legal in your area. You can also use these things alive. If you can keep them alive, they work great for channel cats, blue cats, and flatheads. Again, I would put these in the same category as a shad. They work amazing for trophy-sized catfish. Make sure when you catch these and freeze them that you keep all the moisture out of them. Try to put them in Ziploc bags to keep the air out, or you can have a vacuum sealer, and that works as well. So we'll get on to the next bait. All right, next up we have the mighty bluegill, and I use these as live baits. I use these a lot in the later spring, early summer, and in the fall. Again, I use them live. You can catch fish off of their cut bait, use the heads. I have caught fish like that. But you guys can go outside, your back door, run down to the creek with some night crawlers or some mealworms, and, catch as many of these things as you want for bait. Might want to check with your local state laws to make sure that you can use these, which here in West Virginia, you can use these as long as you catch them on a rod and reel, because they are game fish. Again, these guys are great for live bait. All right, so your next option is going to be carp. You guys can catch these things on night crawlers, corn. I've got multiple videos on how to catch carp on my channel. I use these live and cut. They both work for flatheads, channel cats, and blue cats. These are not my go-to baits. These are a have-to bait for me. So I'll take them if I can get them, but these aren't my go-to baits. Next up, we're going to go to the sucker. Suckers are good bait as well, especially for trophy-sized flatheads. Use these alive. just as well as any of these other fish that you can use alive. But again, carp and sucker are not my go-to baits, but they will work. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is what blue cats will eat. Blue cats will predominantly eat the same things that I just went over, with a slight adjustment. Most of the time, blue cats tend to stay towards cut bait. I'm not telling you that they won't eat cut bait or they won't eat live bait, because they will. I'm sure they do just as much in the wild as, you know, as a flathead. But in my experience, I catch more blue cats on cut bait than I do live baits. But all the baits that I've just previously showed you will work for blue cats as well. The next thing we're going to get into is channel cats. These channel cats, guys, they will damn near eat anything. I've caught them from, you know, chicken liver, dough baits, homemade baits, you know, chicken with garlic or strawberry chicken, you know, crickets, night crawlers, shrimp. There's multiple baits out there that you guys can use to catch these channel cats. Flatheads, they kind of tend to stay towards live baits, but I'm not going to tell you that they only will hit live baits, because I've caught my biggest flatheads off of cut bait. But again, they will hit live baits as well. But these channel cats, guys, I mean, they will they will hit anything. I mean, I've caught them on French fries before. I've caught them on corn, dough baits, again, chicken liver, chicken gizzards. I've caught them on deer meat. These things, they will almost hit anything. If you get in front of them, they're going to eat it most of the time. But another thing, a lot of people think that you always hear, you know, catfish are bottom feeders. You know, they only feed on the bottom. That's not always true. A lot of these bigger fish are predators. They're opportunistic. They're going to eat what's in front of them. So if you drag a piece of skipjack in front of a big flathead or a big blue, most likely they're going to suck it down and you're going to catch them. But they are predators. There's multiple videos on YouTube of blue cats chasing schools of shad, and I'm sure flatheads do the same thing. And you know, if you guys want to use the right baits, look at what these fish are feeding on in your local rivers. So you want to catch trophy catfish, and the bait fish in your river is shad or bluegill or whatever. That's the bait that I would go for, because again, these things are opportunistic predators. They're going to you put in front of their face, they're going to eat it. That's my opinion on it. I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, I probably would go over all the channel cat baits, but this video would be 2 hours long. But again, I get these questions all the time about, you know, what baits to use and what baits not to use. These manufactured baits or these homemade baits, I'll say it like this: the baits that people use that are not in these rivers, like chicken or deer meat, something that's not natural to these fish, channel cats are most of the time going to feed on it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're not going to catch other fish on it, because there's been multiple, you know, times when people catch 40-pound fish on a hot dog weenie. It's not going to work every time, not consistently, but it does happen. So, anyways, I hope this video helps you guys. Like I said, I could go over all the baits, but it'd take me about 2 hours, and this would be a super long video. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and I hope this helps somebody out. So we'll see you next time, and don't forget to follow the page and share this video with your friends. Thanks, guys.